honestly, you just wake up some days in a really, really shitty mood. And sometimes you just gotta direct that shit somewhere. So, we're gonna talk about YCS Prague. And some of the questionable plays that we saw. Like, did Robbie just wake up from hell? You bet your ass. So let's get into this discussion, shall we? Ha ha ha. Yep, that's Wendy's bag. I haven't eaten yet. Cool, so half of the top cut was fucking Spyrals. Who didn't see this coming? God, the internet acts like it's a shocker that Spyrals the best deck in the format. But Robbie, you said the deck bricks a lot. Yeah, the deck does. If you've played Spiral, you know just how shitty your situations can be with some of those hands. It's almost like eating your own goddamn ass at how bad some of those hands can be. And ain't no one want to do that. So, what is up, guys? Fantastic fucking Goal 40 here. Talking about YCS Prague. And as I said, top 16 or top 32 was half Spyrals. Okay, cool. We did it. No, I've said this format isn't too bad, and I still stick to that statement. Spyrals are very glass cannon. You touch them, they shatter. And it's not like the deck is that unbeatable, and I've heard infinite comments across the internet, I mean, far and wide, to bitch about all the shit that they can. To catch all those comments is my cause. I understand. Fucking hand traps are fucking terrible. I don't want to have to main fucking 10 cards for one deck. Or all hand traps should be fucking limited to one. You're right. You should just not play the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now because you don't understand how you have to develop a deck to an adjusted metagame for these things, because you have to play cards to beat other things. It's almost like the fucking side deck was made for this. Or they put their side deck cards in their main deck to counteract those decks, and then they'll side other cards with those already sided. Oh, science. I will say this though, Frame Gamma, like typically with formats developing and things like this, you'll be seeing cards in play such as Gamma to counteract other cards. You know, ITT, Left Arm Offering, Ash Blossom, Gamma, or Grass. It wasn't Left Arm, it was Grass, Ash, Gamma Driver. These cards being countered to playing other cards. Now, several formats ago, had you been like, yeah, I'm playing cards to beat my opponent's cards that beat me, a lot of people would have probably looked at you and been like, you dumb. And I know a lot of people that was a very harsh mentality that a lot of people faced, was if you're playing cards to beat cards that beat you, then you weren't playing the game correctly. Because typically, the scenario where your opponent has the out to your card, and then you have to have the out to your opponent's card, sometimes it just didn't seem worth it. But if you're going into 15, 16 round tournament, where your mentality is, well, if they have it, they have to have it. So we'll line up the odds that we get rewarded for that scenario. And it worked out very beautifully. Now, continuing on, this YCS also had the trend of people playing Mind Crush for evenly matched. And we've been joking for a little while that, you know, you could beat the Mind Crush by just going main phase, battle phase, and then they Mind Crush you, and you don't have the evenly matched. Fucking well played. You know, I will salute whoever the fuck is out there that knows their opponent has a set Mind Crush and baits them into the battle phase just to lose 2 cards. Because, you know, when you play yourself, you play yourself. So, definitely one of the more interesting things. I think that's about it for tech from what I was reading. I saw the Grand Manju feature match. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I was slightly disappointed in what I saw. Trying to follow in the steps of a one-trick pony to try to recreate the scenario. I mean, good on you, but if it worked out once and it didn't top, then the odds of recreating that miracle aren't going to happen again. Alright. There's a lot of rogue in this event. A lot of rogue topped. And people act like that this is some big shocker. You know, I've talked about in previous discussions that rogue is not a terrible metagame choice for this format. You know, you have your designated one-of deck to beat, which is Spiral. And all of these players made the metagame calls to literally beat that deck. You know, once again, oh my god, I have to play hand traps. Sorry, it sucks when you can't afford the ashes. I know, it'll get reprinted eventually. Be patient. It's coming. But you have to play X cards because of the best deck. Now, that's why there's a lot of rogue topping, a lot of diversity. And this is going to be, like I said, this is one of the best formats the game has ever had. We have one very clear best deck, but the other 7 decks can compete with that best deck. And you also think that killing Spyrals is going to be good. You really want to deal with Trickster Reincarnation? The only fucking thing keeping that deck in, that card in check at the moment is literally fucking this deck. So anyway, Lightsworn got second. And if you've watched any of his feature matches, there were a lot of questionable plays. Now, I'm not going to sit here and roast him on some of the things he could have done, but from a player's perspective, watching him play Top Cut, there were a lot of interactions that I felt he just went down the inappropriate skill trees. Now, I'm assuming that it was because he was under pressure and things like this, but sometimes, you know, you just don't have to waste an Amaterasu in the way that he wasted it sometimes. You know, there were a couple of good, interesting plays. That's fine. There were some other plays that weren't so spicy. But overall, he performed very well than I probably would have with the deck. I just wish some of the plays and the lines of thinking that he made a little bit more sense in what he was doing. But as I said, I'm pretty sure it was under stress and pressure, and he definitely did it very well, but things can always be better. What is this? Spyrals first, back to back to back. Someone was talking about somewhere that this was the first deck that's won 3 events back to back to back. I don't know if that's fucking true. I kind of doubt it, because I think Teledad had more wins than this. Don't quote me on that either, but Spyrals. Alright, you go into Prague. You know, you ask yourself 2 questions. Am I playing Spyrals, or am I playing anti-meta? If you answer anti-meta, you need to ask yourself, what hand traps am I playing? You know, how do I answer the not Spiral matchup? Fairy Tale Snow's a hell of a drug if you're playing Lightsworn. People in the comment section were like, oh my god, you know, like, Fairy Tale Snow needs to be banned. No, Snow's fine. The deck's fine. The deck will show up every once in a while, do something, and then die. And then Spyrals, you're playing Spyrals. Now, I always love the infinite stream chat. We're like, oh my god, he cheated. People like, you should be banned. There were, what, 1 or 2 scenarios that came up this weekend? People need to understand that when you're under this amount of pressure, you tend to misplay, and it's not fucking malicious. It's literally written in the policy documents that a malicious intent is what gets you banned, not simple player error. You know, not every game of Yu-Gi-Oh! You play is going to be absolutely perfect. And I cannot stress this enough. It is literally, if you've been under pressure at all, holy crap, I just got 2-0'd with a sneeze. But if you've been under pressure in these types of scenarios, you'll understand that you often misplay, and it's not a big deal. It happens. The one big scenario was the invoked decode Infernoid thing. Everyone was like, no, Decatron's level 5, you can't do that, man. Pressure. It happens to the best of us. I've been in that scenario. If you've been in Top Cut, you understand how grueling of a grind it is. So, Prague, what the fuck happened? Well, Spyral won the event. Not a shocker. I don't know why it would be. Lightsworn comes in second. Yay. Omega's gonna get hit! That's what the comment section on YouTube thinks, but 95% of the time they're wrong, and then they're like, but I want Omega banned, oh my god. Just because a deck shows up once and does something doesn't mean that you can recreate it. And that's why the deck is a brick. You know, 60 cards is a brick city. God. You know, ashing the left arm really does hurt, and your opponent's not going to have the gamma every time, but you're also not going to have the ash every time for the left arm. Understand probability in statistics, because it's a real motherfucker. That's all I got for this video. I just wanted to talk about Prague very quickly. Talk about how people get very angry at misplays, and just little things like that. It was a good event to watch, for what I watched of it. European teams definitely got their shit down. Alright guys, I'm out. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel. And join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. I will be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.